Oh, Argentina. Argentina had some major issues over the timeline since it's been making wine. There was some serious economic strife that happened during the 60s that caused a lot of major wineries that were growing and producing a lot of bulk wine in Argentina to flounder, either close down or just keep making cheaper and cheaper wine. So Argentina had a very bad name up until the 90s. They were still making a lot of really bulk wine. And just to let you know, Argentina is actually the 5th largest producer of wine in the world. That's huge. That's huge. These Argentines are drinking a lot of their own wine, but a lot of it's getting exported. If you can see, U.S. is 4, you got Spain, Italy, and France are always fighting for number 1. I don't know who's number 1. Who is it? I don't know. California produces 90% of U.S. market wine, and that's 600 million gallons. Argentina is now, getting up there, the entire country of Argentina, at 450 or so million gallons, and of that, Mendoza produces, and Malbec alone produces a huge amount of that wine that's being made in Argentina. Like I said before, Mendoza produces 2/3 of the amount of the wine that is made in the country. This area is very, very high, very, very flat and boring, and they have very elaborate networks of irrigation that flood the region so that they can control the water going into the vines. It's extremely dry. There's a rain shadow thing going on with the Andes Mountains. They don't get a whole lot of rain there, so they irrigate. So there's going to be water rights issues and that sort of thing. Fortunately, the people who have had these bodegas have the water rights already going on, and they're just maintaining and producing more and more grapes. Now, for comparison here, if you imagine a state winery in Napa, you're thinking maybe 45 acres. In Argentina, these bodegas have like 2,100 acres of vines. 2,100 acres! Oh my God, that's huge. There are major people investing in the Mendoza region. You've got Michel Roland coming in and making a winery there, Clota Siete, that has thousands of acres planted, and that guy is known for like big opulent Bordeaux wines. You have one of my favorite American winemakers, Paul Hobbs, coming in, starting Bramare down in Argentina, and he's making these incredibly lush and amazing Malbecs. People are learning his Malbec making style and then opening more wineries in that area. There's millions and millions of dollars of investing going on in the region, and why is it? The reason why they're so excited about this region is Malbec makes an incredibly opulent and lush and extremely good valued wine. Right now, you can walk into the grocery store and you want to buy a decent bottle of Cabernet, it's like $20. For that same kind of quality of wine you get from a Malbec, that's around $10 to $12. For somebody who's just getting into wine, the first wine they learn of that tastes decent might be a bottle of Malbec, because they've just been tasting $10 crap wine, and then they go to the store and they buy some Malbec and they're like, hey, this isn't that bad. I think that for that reason alone, people get excited at Malbec and then they go down the tier of Malbec. Well, what does a $10 Malbec taste like? This wine is not going to be super complex, but it will have that velvety structure. It will have that big, lush blueberry, blackberry fruit. It might be a little awkward. It might be a little cloyingly sweet, but it has the basic profile of what Malbec is. Then you go up a level. $25 actually gets you a reserve Malbec. You can go to the grocery store and buy a reserve Malbec for $25. That's like going to Napa and buying their reserve Cabernet. That's like a $60 to $80 bottle. This is only $25, and suddenly you're tasting a higher level of wine. It's in oak for a longer period of time. It has fancy, they're getting select vineyards to make their wines. This is going to be generally, when you're comparing it across the board, it's going to be a higher quality wine. Then when you get into the $60 range, the shit gets crazy. This wine they're picking from their very best vineyards, their very best grape selections, and they're doing the best oak treatment they possibly can. These are their flagship wines. You know, in Bordeaux, this wine is going to be like $500 to $600 in pre-release. That wine a couple years down the road in Bordeaux, if you want to age it at all, it's going to be like $800-900. So getting into a bottle like this for $60, you know, if you're a beginner wine drinker and you've heard about Malbec and you're excited about it, this is a value. This is an out-of-control value, and that is the reason why people are investing like crazy in Malbec in Argentina, is because you've got a hungry and very, very thirsty market drinking value wines, and then as soon as they get enough money and curiosity to go a second level above, they're going, well, what does a $25 Malbec taste like? Let's try a $50 bottle of Malbec. Just a little factoid, I'm going to throw up one more sheet here for you to look at. That's kind of fun. I spent way too much time making, and I really want to show it to you, sort of a little timeline of the history of Argentina and Malbec.